up, everybody? It's Kiera here, Inject Faith Hope Club. I am so excited to announce that you can now catch me right here on Fire 716 Radio each and every Monday for Inject Mondays at 7 p.m. So go ahead and download the app and rock out with your girl. Again, that's each and every Monday at 7 p.m. Tune in and have a good time with us. Me here. I thank all of you for joining us tonight. Tonight, I decided to keep the parenting series going and to switch to the subject of co-parenting. I also got Big Frank here with me tonight, y'all. So co-parenting has been like uh, I think it exists in every relationship, even if you're married, single, dating, separated. Like in always, I just feel like co-parenting is there, but co-parenting for me has been like the hardest thing ever because I'm selfish. And I feel like as a woman, like my kids is my kids, and I want to make all the decisions for them. And sometimes I caught, growing up. Well, I had my oldest daughter. I was 19, so it's a big learning process. Me and her father like fought a lot. Just debating a lot of things, and like why you didn't tell me about certain school events or like, and I'll just be like, well, because you're a dad. Like dads don't really care. And I had to get to a point where it was like, just because you didn't have your dad growing up, like it doesn't mean that dads don't care. So it was a lot of apologizing, and I'm still apologizing sometimes because sometimes we just be hot headed. But I'm learning that co-parenting isn't as negative as it may seem. Especially this go around with my second child. I had a great co-parenting experience this time. No offense to my first baby father, but it's just that like this time I'm learning that maybe because I'm older, I know the patience, and I'm learning that as long as I communicate what my needs are for the child, is working a lot better in my favor. And it's not. It's like you got to understand people too because people have different communication styles. Like my oldest kid, her dad, he's always like, don't tell him anything at the last minute. He'll do whatever needs to be done, but he just hates to know at the last minute. And then my other daughter, her dad is kind of like, okay, I'll do it. Like, so it's just different. And and like I said, like in the beginning, I was selfish. Like I didn't like to share my kids. I didn't. Oh, you're gonna be gone for a week. Like that's a long time. And I was young, yeah. So I'll be like, okay, I can still go out and stuff like that. But now I'm just like, don't leave. Like just stay home with mom. Like. And even like to the corny stuff, like, oh, look at this, what happened at school today. Like, dads want to know that stuff. And I feel like I'm the person that excludes them, but it's because I'm getting used to it, And it's like, even like my pregnancy with my last daughter, her dad did a lot for me, like reached out a lot, just trying to make sure I was okay. And I didn't have that the first time. So I was kind of like, yo, like, just let me do my 9 months by myself and I'll see you in 9 months, like, but it wasn't in a rude way, but it was some time that I needed, like, and I was like, I apologize for that, but I needed that time to just like decompress. Like, I'm about to have a baby. I got to figure out what's coming. Like, and I just want to know, from Big Frank, Frank is married and I've been single. So I just want to know, like, how is it co-parenting? Like,
I'll be very honest, and I pray that my wife is not watching. It is also a challenge together because you still got to communicate, you still have to balance out. And unfortunately, I'm in a different kind of lane because it's not, oh, I'm just a father, but I'm father entrepreneur. I got a job. There's a lot happening. Therefore, a lot of times she feels like as if she's a single parent because dad, he's gone again. Oh, he's gone again. And that takes a toll on her.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, is communicating consistently is important. And that's vice versa for us because sometimes what happens is you know what's going on. I don't because I didn't go to the doctors with you. I wasn't there with you when you went. And dad, I'm the fun. Okay.
Right.
Fun,
That's
good
true.
parent,
That's
those
true,
things. So but it's like, oh, I didn't know that was a situation. We got to communicate still, and then we have to plan.
Right. True.
And I think,
that's the hardest part, though.
Yeah, and I'll be very honest that we are in trouble because we don't plan. We don't plan the week. We don't plan the days. We're winging it all the time. But winging it because we got 302 just isn't efficient
So,
and
yeah.
causes frustration, aggravation, and those things. So communication is still required.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And I feel like as a woman though, you could correct me if I'm wrong. Like sometimes, like me, some things like I don't communicate with my kid's dad because I feel like they should just know. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that's not
yeah,
okay. I'm learning that that's not okay
yeah,
because I'm just like, okay, men and women are two different
hmm,
species, and we're just figuring it out. We're both figuring it out, but we're like we naturally have that nurturing, and we know everything that's wrong
yeah,
and things
right.
like that. And I'm like, when he's like, when they're like, well, I don't get it. I'm like, what you mean you don't get
You know,
it?
yeah,
Like,
we are not the same. We are a Martian. No, but valid. What happens is you assume that we know, and a lot of times we don't.
right,
And also, you have to take into consideration. Listen, we are raised different,
true.
and therefore, things that bother you don't bother me.
That's a fact.
Things that weigh on you, and you're like, "Oh my God, no!" I'm just like,
Yeah, that I
"Baby,
don't
I."
like that because it's like my youngest daughter, her father is so patient and like nothing. I'd be like, oh my god, this happened at school today. And he's like, okay, like, and I'm just like, aren't you concerned? He's like, just because I'm not expressing it does not mean I'm not concerned,
Valid,
but
valid.
it's no need to like go shake the boat for what, like
Right,
you know. And I'm
right.
like, okay, but it's just like. I don't know. Like it's just a reaction for me. And he's just like, everything is fine. Even when it comes to the kids, I feel like y'all have more patience than
Hmm.
we do. I feel like y'all just like,
My
I'm
wife,
dad.
oh, she was on. She was like, "You let that boy do anything you want to do."
It's
Yes and no.
yeah, but then because different too, y'all say stop and they stop.
Yeah,
We have to say stop two, three
valid,
times to get
valid.
it to get them to stop.
Yeah,
And I think that's just the difference between men and women. But and it's like learning how to just like communicate that, like you said,
yeah,
like, hey, what's going on? But then too, I had to learn too, like, don't be the toxic co-parent because
yeah.
like, bro, like if a man wants to be a dad, let a man be a dad.
No,
Like
for
I've
sure.
done the whole okay, let's go put you on child support thing. And is the system, first of all, is not designed for any black male at all.
Mhm.
It's not. I will tell you straight up, it's not. Like I literally went down there and canceled every ounce of child support because I
Mhm.
was young, mad, and that's
Mhm.
when I did it. But once I realized what I was doing, I was like, yo, this is not designed. This you're gonna
Yeah.
fail just
Valid.
off of this alone because it's not designed to help you out.
Mhm.
And once I learned that, like it was like a light went off in my head. Like, okay, we can do this. Like both of us, we just literally need to sit down and talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it's like learning your communication style versus mine. Like, okay, so I have to tell you what to do and break it down for you, like what needs to be done and
Mhm.
why. And then the other one, I can just be like, yo, this is going on. And they'll just
Mhm.
handle it. Like
Right.
it's just different with each one. And that's like it's just a learning process for me. Like I feel like, and I just feel like it's very important for your kids to know that you're trying. You know, kids know.
Mhm.
I'm one of those people that always believes that kids know who's around and who's not,
Mhm.
regardless of any amount of money that's spent.
Yeah.
I care more about time than I do money. But I think so many times, like when you're scrolling on social media and you see people bashing their baby mother or baby
Mhm.
father, and it's just like, no, like even if your kid's father is not around, like one thing I learned was to just do you. Just do what
Mhm.
you need to do and do what needs to be done because less is more. And I
Yeah.
learned that the more that I say less, the more reaction that does than me saying anything at
Mhm.
all.
For
And
sure.
it's like I can get more done. Honestly, I feel like I get my point across more when I just don't say anything. Like,
Mhm.
okay, no, I needed you to do this, you didn't do it. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just wish that people would like women would understand, even men too, because I see it from the men too. It's not always the women. And I think there is a thing as like, you know, bitter parenting
Mhm.
when everyone's single. But you have to let go of your bitterness because at the end of the day, if it didn't work together, you have to make it work separately. That's
Mhm.
literally like the only option. And it's just you don't always need to rely on other people. Like at some point you have to understand, like I always tell mothers, like it's your at the end of the day, it's your baby. I'm not saying that dads don't count, but dads kind of get a pass. Like if a dad's not there, it's kind of like expected. So it's like, all right.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that that's right, but
Mhm.
that's just the way it is.
Mhm.
So if dad's not there, I have to do what I have to do no matter what. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I don't have that freedom to just say, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And I feel like moms don't get that pass. Like even in my book, moms don't get that pass. Like if you're a bad mama, I don't understand why.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I think that it also comes with, we talk about the village and
True.
using your resources because wife, hope you're not watching. One of the challenges is that because of my wife, like I told you, she feels overwhelmed because she's 3 kids. It's a lot. She
Right.
the diapers she has to do, and for her, she feels like, oh, I feel like you just get up and go, and it's like I can, but my get up and go is so that
I'm working.
we
I'm not going to the club. I'm not.
valid,
Yeah.
that
I get that.
we can legit be well and build something. And so there's some challenges there, like I said, but it's like, communication. Like, what do you want to do? Like, if you don't communicate that you want to do a thing, or you need a break, or you don't do those things,
I don't know.
You assume that I should know because you should
we
just
assume
know.
that you can see the exhaustion, you can see, you know what I'm saying. And I know it's bad. I'm not taking her side. Because I'm literally the same way. My kids' dad told me all the time, like, if you need a break, say that, like, legit. Because I don't though, because I'm just like, these are my kids, and now I'm like, and like again with the appreciation, like he'll be like, oh, thank you for doing her hair today, or thank you for getting her for school, and I'm like, stop.
No, and I feel like don't I'm in trouble. Don't blame me for your failure to communicate.
True.
So
it's not that we're blaming you. It's just that we feel like
you should know.
You should know.
And for us, because you don't communicate, it becomes the normal of this is just how you function.
Oh yeah,
we don't know that there's a problem. We don't know that you're exhausted. Hemming and hawing is just your regular everyday hemming and hawing.
That's okay.
But if you really need a break, I need a moment. What can we do? Say less. I will call on these family members. Y'all need to watch 1, watch 2, watch 3.
That's a fact.
And now what you gonna do now? If you talking trash. Now, if you take that moment to exhaust yourself even more, that's not my fault.
That's true.
No, take your
time and break. And that's the thing, when you get a break, and I'm the same way. Like you said a minute ago, though. Like with my oldest, I never asked anybody to watch her. Like if my mom didn't do it and her grandma, like because we were young, so my mom and her grandma helped us a lot. But like if it wasn't them two, it wasn't all right. She's at home, like, and that's okay with me. But I wasn't like, hey, I need a break, So this time around, I was like, Mom, I need a break. Like, like, Dad, I need a break. And I'm like, and he's like, okay, no problem. I'll switch my shift. Like,
Valid.
And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, and it's different though, because when you're not used to that, you don't know how to adjust to it.
Yeah.
And like I told you, I caught myself like pushing him away. Like, I know you want to be a dad, but just don't. Like, but why? Yeah, and I feel like that's the downfall for a lot of women, is that they do get into this hardened state where it's just like, no, this is my kid, and they don't see each other's point of view. Like you can see, like you saying communicate effectively, and then when I do communicate that, you're like, okay, let's figure it out, let's schedule it. But like even me, like I have my kids on the schedule. Their dads don't. They just be like, do what you want to do. If you want to go sleep at midnight, that's cool. And I'm just like, yo, she got school in the morning. Like, she's 2. You gotta like, yeah.
That's what you do over there. What you over here? We let it flow. No. Listen. We let it flow.
No, because the problem is that my mom taught me that 8:00 is bedtime, because that's your alone time. That's your decompressed time. So that when they come home, and now I'm off schedule and I gotta adjust.
Just now.
And I'm like, hold on, I know you've been with your dad, but let's get this in order.
Because even in the same household, we like that. So
seriously,
because when I'm not present, they got their little situation. But the days that I'm off of work or home, I'll say this: the days that I'm home, and she might be out or chilling out with her family or taking a break.
Did you want to do?
Y'all, listen. Now
don't break anything.
Valid. Now y'all want the truth. Now here goes some melatonin for y'all. Melly. Y'all good? Y'all, anything else y'all need? Here goes snack. Here goes some safe treats. I'm gonna go ahead and lay down and let y'all. Here go y'all show on TV, and here you go 2:00 in the morning. You still ain't settled, boy. But then also I know that when it gets too bad, I know what it takes to cut everything off.
Yeah,
it's pitch black.
They don't like
for
that.
for a solid 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh wow.
Boy, but after that,
That he's good. Oh
we
wow.
out
See, mine's not
because
like
because
that.
because the TV keeps
I'm
them going.
going. That's a fact.
And
And
so
it's just I don't know, but it's like co-parenting is just tricky, man.
no,
It's
for sure.
tricky and it's different in every situation. You know, I've seen the people keep the kids away from the parent, talk about the parent, and
Yeah,
that's just not healthy. And in the long run, it's not healthy for the other kid.
yeah.
And then it's like I actually asked my Facebook friends like what they liked and didn't like co-parenting,
Mhm.
and one man actually said that he loves the space that they're in right now, and he wished they could have been in it a long time ago because
Mhm.
his kids are suffering from
From
what his mistake, you know, and
yeah.
that's big for a man to admit that, you know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
it's hard. Co-parent, like one thing I learned this last time having a baby was that it's a learning process. Where
Mhm.
I'm learning how to be a mom again for the second time, and you're learning how to be a dad again. It's just different. Um,
Fire 716, Frank speaking.
can I keep?
Mm.
It's just different, you know. And I just don't want people to miss out on that good parenting
Yeah.
opportunity, you know, especially like the way that life is going. You know, we're here today and going tomorrow. And just take into consideration your kids because like my daughters love their dad real
Mhm.
bad, and it's nothing you could say about their dads that's gonna even say they're not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Like you know,
I want to say this. You said this earlier, and you can't project your trauma onto
on your
your
kids.
children.
That's a fact.
Um, once again, cover us, oh Lord, because just because you have triggers of time apart doesn't mean that they're having the same
Same trigger.
triggers,
True.
and you can't project. Oh, they're going through this. They're okay.
Right.
For example, this is just my life right now. There's a reason why I am present and also why I am absent this time in the time frame that I'm in because it's a blur.
Right.
We know psychologically I'm around, okay, but there's also a blur.
Yeah.
I don't remember these years.
Yeah.
So this is the perfect time
To be
for
missing
to
and
be
do what
missing.
you need to
Do
do.
what I need to do so by the time they hit the age of remembrance and knowing, I'm more than there because
That's a
I've set the
fact.
standard, I set the stage, and I set that. So I know that.
Right.
So I have to also be confident in the decisions I make in that pursuit as a parent.
True.
Because if not, the other party can sometimes try to, because you feel a certain type of way, project that
Oh yeah.
onto
That's definitely
yeah,
me.
yeah, they
Yeah,
don't.
that's me all day.
Yeah,
I
don't.
can't I can't say nothing.
No, and
I
it's,
can't, but I get exactly what you're saying too. But and I think in those moments is when the overwhelming is the most. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
valid.
And it's like I respect the hustle, I respect
Yeah,
the grind because you're not gonna get anywhere if you don't do
yeah,
it. But I'm also keen on at least there's just some time, like just a couple hours, you know,
hmm
like, and it's different. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I am guilty of that because sometimes I'll be like, you know, well, just go, like, just, you know, but
yeah,
it's not, and it's not that I mean it like that because I know you mean well, but it's just me projecting myself,
yeah.
my old,
But in my challenge, the challenge comes from me is that the projection is not only the issue, is that you've projected, but you haven't communicated.
uh, I
You
communicate,
it is
I
one
don't,
thing to say, it's
yeah,
one thing to say, oh, I'm just tired randomly. No. What I need a day. What day is mine
right,
that I can go ahead and break away?
mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna just tell you my life and just keep it a buck.
That's a fact.
Because it's so busy right now. There's church, there's ministry, all these other
So
things. If you and you got to be intentional.
that's a
If
fact.
you don't take your time slot, and now you be like, oh, Frank, time slot, you ought to just know because you love me. Oh, I love you.
Yeah, but I
But
don't
if you don't
know.
occupy a
Yeah,
time to that, know that Thursday at 6 o'clock, you about to go out with your girls and chill out, relax, and
right.
have your moment. All right, I'm at home at 6 o'clock on Thursday.
True.
Boom. Or you just
Or
say,
you have to say like women want you to say like my daughter's father. He'll be like, "All right, you got a spa day appointment at 11 o'clock." Like
mm-hmm,
women want that.
yeah.
They don't. I know. I
I
get
no
what
no
you're.
no no. I'm not.
But
I
they just want
agree.
you to say, "Hey, today's your day. I'm taking the kids." Like they don't. They don't want to say it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. They don't want to verbalize it,
Right.
and I'm guilty of it too because I don't want to say it. I want you to just naturally do
Do
that.
it.
Like
And
And that's the conflict. Like but I totally
yeah,
get your side because you know I'm busy and you know what I'm doing and where I'm trying to get us
mhm.
to. So for you, it's totally different. But for me,
But
I'm
no,
just
no
like,
valid because you the same. I want you to do. Uh, and this is not an excuse. I'm just being open. This is
yeah,
a good conversation because it's not that I'm trying to make an excuse or that I can't, that I don't want to. Um, the list of things that's happening.
there's no room.
For his spot day, boom. No, I need you. You better speak up because if you don't speak up, I'm believing everything is
It's
okay.
okay. That's a fact.
And
And
if
that's a problem because I know that my daughter, her dad, like if I text him randomly, he'll be like, "Oh my god, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nothing, just calm down." And so
Mhm.
now I've learned to just say, "Hey, nothing's wrong, but this is going on. Just wanted to let you
Right,
know." You know what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? Because it's like, and it is when you randomly get a call and you don't
Mhm.
know, like it's like, okay,
And the dangerous part about that is sometimes if you set a tone, and you want to change your tone now, we don't know.
no, that's true.
Like you said,
Tone is on my list because tone is very important because tone can change all of it. Like
yeah.
because if you're anything like my kid's father, I got one that reacts. He will give you the tone that you want,
Hmm.
okay? And I got one that will be like, nobody cares about your tone. So it's
That's
like a
valid.
balance, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like I'm not trying to cause an argument. I just want you to see what I'm saying, you know?
absolutely.
And it's just I don't know, like
Well,
it's
for
hard.
no, for sure, and I believe that, and I even think, even like I told you, I couldn't talk about from my house, my home, because I only have children with one woman, and
Praise the Lord. Keep it
and
like that.
but it's a matter, and I say this because we are different. We
That's
don't
a fact.
communicate the same. We don't talk the same. We're not raised the same. We don't assume the same. And I don't follow this fantasy world on television.
Right.
So if I tell you that, you got to tell me directly.
Tell me
Tell me
directly.
directly until it becomes a habit for me.
Hmm.
That
So
if
that I
you
can pick up on it. Then I can pick up
absolutely
on it because I know, okay, she told me this time and she was going through like these emotions and I could
right,
kind
so
of catch up on it and be like, okay, now I get it.
now I get it, now I know. But you have to let me know, and I'm gonna go to that all the time because I'm I'm doing my best to what I believe I should do
Do
as a father and husband and provider. But
absolutely
because I consider it my best doesn't mean that it's always efficient.
true.
Doesn't mean that it is the best. Doesn't mean that it doesn't come with weight and burdens and challenges. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
just trying to balance out the best way I know
Mm-hmm.
how, so that the future that I desire us to have
Is what
is what it
yes,
is.
that's a fact.
Now there's some sacrifice, there's some suffering, there's some things that you can tolerate, some things that you cannot.
Right.
But if you don't communicate what you can and cannot handle,
Then I don't
I,
know.
I assume that you're handling it well.
Oh, that's a fact. I get
You
that.
know,
Yeah.
so it's like you gotta
You
speak.
gotta take into consideration me too. Like it's
Yeah,
not just you, the other person as
yeah,
well. You know what I'm saying?
and oh, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, but it's true
Yeah.
because it's like I had to take into consideration like with my youngest daughter, I have to tell her dad like you have to take breaks.
Yeah.
Like he's like the type that like he works his days in a row, and as soon as he gets off 7 o'clock, he don't care if he just worked 12 days in a row. He's coming to get his baby,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, no, you need rest. Like I'm not
Mm-hmm.
keeping you from her,
Yeah.
but you need to rest, reset. Tomorrow, come and
Mm-hmm.
get her. You
Right.
got 4 days
Right.
off. Let's balance it out here.
Yeah.
He's like, who needs to do that? I need to see, and I love the energy, I really
Mm-hmm.
do. But for your best self, like so
You got
that
to.
you not and she's not in the kid in the living room with the snack and the juice,
Yeah.
and you're sleeping.
Right.
Like
Right.
reset. And it's
And
like men don't y'all take on so much that y'all just handle it.
I get in trouble.
Like and
But
y'all don't take that time to for y'all either.
no, no, and that's real. And sometimes, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be very honest with you all. I bless Jehovah today, just in case I love you. Is the fact that sometimes the exhaustion of the day is the day, but sometimes the exhaustion is the responsibility that we carry as being the man and the
Oh,
husband and the father
that's a fact.
to balance all of that out. And then it's like, you know,
Mhm.
what happens when you say take a break and the break is you?
Right.
Like,
Like yeah.
and that's,
Especially you, because
and it's like I was talking today, like, oh yeah, I want a vacation. Oh, vacation with your wife. I love her. I do.
but I don't want to. I'm listen. I'm all for vacations without people. Okay, like
I
do something by yourself,
yeah,
bro. Even if it's like a small.
yeah. I don't
I'm
know.
even for getting a hotel at home just for yourself.
Yeah,
Like like you
right.
have to do that.
Yeah.
But men don't do that. Y'all keep going, and then it's just like y'all just sleep, and I'm just like, all right, so is you gonna wake up? Like, no, but I get it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so it's like you said, we was raised two different ways, you know,
Right.
like it's just
Like for me, and I say this for me. For me, my father was in prison. That's just life. And then my mom got married, and he was a great provider,
mm-hmm,
but he never taught me the skill set of how to provide.
um,
And right now, in the way that my life is set up, I'm the provider.
that's a fact.
So I know you want love and affection. I used to be a love and affection. That was the language.
Mm-hmm.
But love and affection don't pay no
Bills,
bills.
that's a fact.
And it's like now I find myself turning into this man who I got to provide. So I got to Uber. Oh, I got to provide. I
Mhm.
got the bill.
But you
Oh, I
have
got to
to
work.
rest in the midst of that
Yeah.
because what happens is y'all keep going, and I'm guilty of it too because being a single mom, and I'm not. I say that I'm a single mom because my kids live at home with me,
Yeah.
but their dads are very active in their life, so I
Mhm.
don't consider myself a single mom
Yeah.
because I know I'm not doing this alone. But is that I forgot where I was totally going with this,
Rest.
but yeah, it's just the point in rest. Like me, I used to go do Uber, put the kids to bed, go out,
Mhm.
do Uber, make some money, get off of work, go make more money
Mhm.
doing deliveries and stuff like that. And then it came to a point where I was like, yo, God, at the end of the day, if you gonna make it happen,
Valid.
you're gonna make it happen. I
Yeah.
can't do 2, 3 jobs at a
Yeah.
time. Like I
Yeah.
got one
Yeah.
good paying job. I need to just focus here. Maybe I could get some overtime here.
Yeah.
And maybe when I'm free, I can do other things because what happened was in my free time, now I'm still working.
Absolutely.
And like you said, you're just exhausting yourself even more. So it's
Yeah.
like you didn't even get that free time.
Yeah.
So it's really all about balance.
No, for sure.
And
For sure.
co-parenting is just you just really have to find what works for you. It's
Yeah.
not gonna work for everybody.
Mhm.
Like I said, I got one that I know if I just tell him what to do, he'll do it. I got one that I know will just do it because he just knows how I am at this point
Yeah.
in the parenting process. And I'm also real big on to don't be in and out of your kids' lives. If you want to be a parent, be a parent. Don't you do more damage going in and out than you do by just being absent.
You got a minute.
And that goes for men and women because you know none of us are perfect. And we all have our own flaws. But you know, co-parenting is really heavier for me because it was a learning process for me, and I'm enjoying it this go around. So I just want to say to y'all, you know, if you're co-parenting, try to see the other person's point of view. Sometimes it might require you to be the bigger person, and be the bigger person is okay. You can't avoid the co-parent. You can't. You have to communicate. You can't be toxic. Just do what's best for the children at the end of every day. I love y'all. Stay blessed. Have a blessed night, and thank y'all for tuning in. What's up, everybody? It's Kiera here, Inject Faith Hope Love. I am so excited to announce that you can now catch me right here on Fire 716 Radio each and every Monday for Inject Mondays at 7 p.m. So go ahead and download the app and rock out with your girl. Again, that's each and every Monday at 7 p.m.
Are you ready to launch your business, but you don't know where to begin? Join the Iberio Business Center online program, which serves the Finger Lakes in Rochester, New York. The business course is offered in both English and in Spanish. Take advantage of the different speakers and their expertise throughout this course. The online program includes a pitch competition, which will assist you with funding for your business. For more information, visit iberio.org or call 716-418-4782.
What's up, everybody? It's